Hey YouTube fans, appreciate you for subscribing to the page and making some comments on our videos. Behind me, not a rose garden. Not in the rose garden today, but I am somewhere that's very important in terms of your gardening, whether it's roses, vegetables, or anything you want to plant. Behind me is black gold. Sometimes it's referred to that as black gold. It's a compost pile. I put a fair amount of compost down in my garden at planting time itself, but also throughout the year. And it depends on the type of soil you have, but almost no matter what, your garden could use a little compost to make it better. In my case, we've got sandy soil down here in eastern North Carolina. In fact, 100% sand. It's like I'm planting on a beach. Because of that, when I add compost, that is adding the ability to the soil to hold nutrients and water. So in my case, the compost helps with water retention. If you have a clay soil, it's still pretty good. It can help break up the clay itself, and again, it's good to really add to any garden. You can overdo it. You don't want pure compost. You still want native soil, such as your clay or sand itself. I don't want to trip over these big pieces of compost. So this video today is going to talk about some of the advantages of getting compost, where you can get it. I don't have a pickup truck. I keep bugging my wife to get one. That hasn't worked out so far. So I use these, I think 18 or 20 gallon Rubbermaid tubs. Even when I had a Honda Civic, I could pile 6 to 7 of those tubs in my car, about 500 to 700 pounds of compost. Each one of these bins, when it's full, it's about 75 pounds. So that's a tremendous amount of compost I can bring home. And even in my van itself, I don't have to do a lot of modification in terms of seats down. So this is Municipal compost. This is about 20 minutes from me. The benefits are cost. It's $30 a ton, or roughly a pickup truck full. I'm not privy on that because, again, I don't have a pickup truck. For me, on average, it's $5 to $7 each time I come here, and I get 500 to 700 pounds. You can do the math at home. When you get bags at the local hardware store, you're not getting 500 to 700 pounds of this stuff for only $5 to $7. So the price can't beat. That's a pro, and it's pretty good stuff. Look at this. Again, it's called black gold because it's great for your garden. High quality stuff. So this is Municipal compost. I encourage you to check out your local municipality. Within maybe an hour or so drive, you may have a pile like this. I moved down from Syracuse, New York. Those folks up in Onondaga County should be praised. They had a tremendous compost pile up there, so good that they actually would tell you what the pH was, phosphorus levels, different levels of what was in the compost itself. So Municipal compost, if you can get your hands on it, it's pretty darn good. Now there are some downsides. Number one, you're getting everybody's stuff. What I mean by that is, the debris you bring down to the curb and you pick it up. That's what this is. So sometimes you'll occasionally get these big logs. Sometimes you'll get somebody else's weeds. Sometimes you'll get plastic bags. So when you come here, obviously, if you see weeds or junk in the compost, throw it to the side, get your shovel full, and get the good stuff and bring it home. Number two, the argument is you're getting somebody else's problems, weeds and diseases. Yes, that could be a possibility. I mean, this stuff has to come from somewhere. It's lawn clippings, it's vegetation from the county and the local municipality. So I agree, you run the risk of introducing some things into your garden. My argument to that is, where do you think the stuff in the bags come from? Where do you think the stuff comes that's delivered to you? Now, I will say they may do a little bit better job at what's called sifting, where they run this through a mesh or screen, and you might not get some of this. It might be more refined. When you're paying big bucks for it to be delivered, it may be more consistent in terms of the, not the quality, but the content. You're not gonna get this larger debris in it. But again, where do you think that stuff in the bags come from, or your local nursery? They're getting it from a place like this. They may sift it more, they may go for the higher sifted quality, but again, nobody's producing this in mass quantity unless you're looking at a municipality. I'll show you in my garden later. I have my own compost pile. It's huge. However, you'll be shocked if you bag your grass, you throw out all your vegetation waste, your banana peels and all that, how, despite doing that, it takes a lot of compost or a lot of material to make a good compost pile. So that's why you can't, you can have a compost pile at home. That's fine and dandy, and you can guarantee that's the best stuff versus what you have at a community yard. But you just can't create that mass or amount that you can find in the local community compost. So quick video on that. Again, some of the highlights: it's cheaper, $5 to $7 for 500 to 700 pounds. That's a lot of compost. It's pretty good quality stuff. Again, you may have to sift through some of it with the debris and stuff like that. And depending on your soil, for me, it's going to add the ability to hold water. Otherwise, my 100% sand soil will leach out not only water just like that, but nutrients. So compost is certainly a good thing. Yes, you run the risks of bringing some stuff in to your garden, disease and pest wise, but I think it's worth the risk taking, because again, I don't think it's all that dissimilar from what you get in the bag stuff at the store. Comment below, do you use compost? Does your local municipality have this? I know up in Syracuse, I had to drive an hour and 20 minutes to get stuff like this. So I'm thrilled that I have a facility only 20 minutes away. And again, I would love to have a pickup truck, but really any vehicle can transport this stuff at home. I mentioned I was able to put 7 tubs of it in my Civic, a couple up front, 3 in the back, and again, 500 to 700 pounds without a pickup truck. Comment below. Do you have compost? Do you use it? Do you make your own? Do you have any tips for our fellow Rosarians? Have a great day, everybody. I'm going to work on getting this back home, and then in future videos you'll see why I'm getting compost. It's rose planting time. I ordered some roses about a month ago, and now I'm going to be putting them in the ground, so I need some of the good stuff, the black gold, to make it go well. Have a great day, everybody.